All right. Today we're going to talk about a piece of tech that is, well, popping up just about everywhere. You see them at construction sites, at big city festivals, pretty much anywhere you can think of. They're silent, they're always watching, and honestly, they are completely changing the game for on-demand security. So, what exactly are these cameras on wheels? I bet you've seen one. You're driving by a parking lot or a construction zone, and you see this trailer. It's got this super tall mast sticking up with a bunch of cameras on top. It's one of those things you definitely notice, but you're maybe not 100% sure what you're even looking at. Well, wonder no more. The official name is mobile surveillance trailers, but honestly, most people just call them cameras on wheels. And in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. What they are, how they work, and why, all of a sudden, they seem to be absolutely everywhere. To really get why these trailers even exist, we've got to take a quick step back. We need to look at the problem they were built to solve. For decades, right, security was just fixed cameras. You bolted them to a building, you hardwired them into the power grid, and that was that. But that old school way of doing things has some pretty serious drawbacks. And when you put them side by side like this, wow, the difference is just night and day. A traditional camera can take weeks to deploy. You've got trenching, wiring, the installation costs are huge, and it's totally chained to the power grid. And flexibility? Forget about it. It's zero. Once the camera is up, it's there for good. If your security problem moves, too bad. Okay, so with all those problems in mind, the industry was crying out for something better. Something that was fast, flexible, and, actually worked for today's world. And that's where the mobile surveillance trailer comes in. It's a solution that was literally built for how dynamic our security needs are now. So what is this thing really? The best way to think about it is like a tiny, super high-tech command center on wheels. It's totally self-contained. It makes its own power, it has its own cameras, its own way of connecting to the internet, all of it packed onto a little trailer you can pull with a regular truck. And this is where you really see the magic. Instead of waiting weeks, you can have eyes on a location in like an hour. It runs completely off-grid thanks to solar and batteries. You can move it whenever you need to, say as a construction project moves to a new phase, or as a crime hotspot shifts. And get this, just having one of these things sitting there is often enough to make a bad guy think twice. All right, so we get the what and the why, but what about the how? What actually makes one of these things tick? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the technology that turns this simple-looking trailer into such a powerful security tool. The process itself is almost laughably simple. You literally just tow it where you want it, raise the mast, and that's it. You can walk away. The solar panels immediately start juicing up the batteries, the whole system connects to a 4G or 5G network, and boom. Just like that, you have a live feed of your site that you can watch from your phone or a computer anywhere on Earth. And the technology packed inside it's wild. We're talking multiple high-def cameras that can pan, tilt, and zoom way in. Some of them even have thermal imaging, so they can see body heat in total darkness. They've also got active deterrence, so think flashing police-style lights, loud sirens, and even two-way speakers, so you can talk to someone on site. But maybe the coolest part? The built-in AI that's smart enough to know the difference between a person walking by and a plastic bag blowing in the wind. That cuts down on false alarms like you wouldn't believe. Okay, so now that we know how they work, let's talk about where you'll actually find them. And the short answer is, well, pretty much any place that has a temporary or remote security need. I mean, just look at how diverse the uses are. For construction sites, the big enemy is theft of tools and materials, right? These trailers provide 24/7 watch. For a big retail store, it's a huge deterrent against crime in the parking lot. Police departments love them because they can drop one in a crime hotspot and it acts like a force multiplier. And for huge events like concerts or festivals, you can get wide area coverage set up in a matter of hours. And the problems they're solving are not small. We're talking massive numbers here. Just look at the construction industry. Equipment theft alone is estimated to cost companies in the US a mind-blowing $1 billion every single year. A single one of these trailers can make a serious dent in that number. And for law enforcement, this technology is a total game changer. I mean, this quote right here, it says it all. In a time when police departments have tight budgets and are stretched thin, a trailer can keep a 24/7 watch over a problem area. That frees up human officers to handle more urgent calls. It literally multiplies their presence without having to hire more people. But look, technology never stands still, right? This stuff is evolving, and it's evolving fast. It's being pushed forward by better batteries, faster connections, and smarter AI. So let's take a peek at what's coming next for these cameras on wheels. First off, the market for this is just exploding. It's on track to be worth almost $5 billion by 2032. That kind of rapid growth tells you everything you need to know about how valuable businesses and cities are finding this technology. It's pretty wild to see how we even got here. It really all started back in the 90s with the first IP cameras that broke video out of its closed-circuit prison. Then, in the early 2000s, the first real trailers were built. And now, the future looks even crazier. We're talking about trailers with their own drones that can launch to investigate and alert, lightning-fast 5G connections, and even plugging into bigger smart city networks. But, and this is a big but, all of this incredible growth and powerful new tech brings us to a really critical conversation. Because as these tools get smarter and show up in more places, the public is understandably getting more concerned about how all this data is being used. I mean, look at this. Concern jumped from 64% to 71% in just a 4-year span. And that really brings us to the heart of the whole issue. This quote just hits the nail on the head. On one hand, you have a technology that has clear, undeniable benefits for safety and security. But on the other hand, how do you weigh that against something as fundamental as our right to privacy? So, here's the bottom line. These cameras on wheels are incredibly powerful, they're super effective, and they're absolutely here to stay. They solve very real problems for businesses and police. But as they become just a normal part of our world, the huge question that we as a society have to answer is this: where do we draw the line? That's the conversation we're going to be having for a long, long time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more How Meets History.